Have you ever noticed how some individuals seem to command everything around them without uttering a single word? They don't yell, they don't plead, they simply step back, and suddenly, the world around them shifts. When you stop reacting instantly, choosing silence over confrontation, withdrawal over outburst, you're reclaiming your own power. People are accustomed to manipulating you through your reactions, through your emotions, your predictability, and your constant availability. But the moment you stop always being accessible, everything around you descends into chaos. Those who thought they knew you will realize they know nothing about you at all. Carl Jung once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to a deeper understanding of ourselves." When you become unreachable, others start to feel unsettled, trying to provoke you just to get a reaction. This unveils their true nature, that they've been quietly controlling you through your emotions. Every time you say yes when you meant no, every impulsive reaction, you're giving away a piece of your energy. The message here isn't about turning your back on the world, it's about choosing yourself first, choosing stillness, self-control, and embarking on a journey to become the most authentic version of yourself. When you start distancing yourself from the crowd, refusing meaningless conversations, toxic relationships, and gatherings that no longer nurture your soul, you're creating space to discover your true self. Solitude might feel daunting at first, but it's the necessary silence to hear your inner voice. In this noisy world, silence is a rare privilege. It helps you realize what truly matters, who truly deserves your time and energy. When you stop always being available, you'll notice something intriguing. People start to notice your absence. Those who took you for granted begin to feel confused, even anxious. Not because they miss you, but because they can no longer rely on your readiness to fill their voids. Your disappearance isn't a power play. It's a profound act of self-love. You're saying, "I'm important enough not to exhaust myself on things that aren't worth it." And when you do that, you become more valuable in others' eyes, not because you're trying to impress, but because you're living true to your worth. When you stop being easily accessible, you start attracting an entirely different kind of person. No longer the shallow relationships that only seek you out when they need something from you. Instead, you begin to draw in people who genuinely see your value, who cherish the time and energy you bring. This doesn't happen overnight. At first, you might feel lonely. But don't mistake that initial solitude for emptiness, it's just a necessary pause to cleanse your surroundings. When you stop being around those who don't deserve you, you're opening space for better relationships to enter. You don't need many people, you just need the right ones. People who don't see you as a means to an end, but as a person with emotions and value. People who don't reach out only when they need you, but because they want to share their lives with you. This change starts from within. When you begin to love and respect yourself, the outside world will reflect that back. And you'll be surprised to see that the less you show up carelessly, the more you're appreciated. Life is a series of choices, and one of the most significant choices you can make is to choose yourself. Throughout your life, you'll be given many roles: friend, lover, child, colleague, but never let those roles overshadow who you truly are. When you're always available for others, neglecting yourself, you're sending an invisible message that you're not worth prioritizing. People will get used to you being there whenever they need you, without ever considering if you're okay. Over time, you become the person everyone assumes will always be there, but no one truly cares about. So learn to step back. Learn to say no firmly but kindly. You don't need to over-explain. Your absence doesn't mean you're cold, it means you're learning to protect your energy and soul. And remember, when you prioritize yourself, the right people won't leave, they'll understand and respect your boundaries. On the other hand, those who only saw you as a tool will naturally drift away, and that's a gift. Because your absence will clarify who truly needs you, and who only needed you when it was convenient. Instead of fearing losing someone, fear losing yourself. Choose you, because you deserve to be loved, cared for, and to live true to your worth. There's one thing you need to understand clearly: not everyone deserves your presence. Your energy, time, and care are precious assets, and you can't give them to just anyone simply because they want them. When you stop showing up for those who only seek you out when they need you, you begin to reshape your value in their eyes. You're no longer the backup plan. You're no longer the person always ready to solve others' problems while no one checks on you. Your newfound inaccessibility isn't arrogance, it's an act of self-respect. You start being selective. Who deserves your time? Who values the sincerity you offer? And who simply takes advantage of your kindness to fill the gaps in their lives? When you change how you show up, or sometimes stop showing up entirely, you create a void. That void forces those who took you for granted to confront their own lack. Some will walk away because they were never genuine. But others will begin to see your true worth because now they have to work to keep you. The choice is yours. Only show up where you're appreciated. Be the person you'd want to be around. And remember, you don't need to be good enough for others. You just need to be true to yourself. There's a truth we often don't want to face. The more we try to please others, the more likely we are to be taken for granted. The more available, willing, and there when they need you are, the less people value you. At first, they might appreciate your kindness. But over time, your constant presence and readiness become something they expect. Not because you're not good enough, but because people tend to undervalue what they don't have to fight for. Have you ever been in a situation where others only reach out when they need you, but disappear when you need them? They reply to your messages when they're free, but you're expected to be on call 24/7 to avoid upsetting them. You sacrifice your time, emotions, sometimes even your self-respect, just to hold on to an unbalanced relationship. And the most painful part is, you do all this not because you're weak, but because you love sincerely. But at some point, you have to stop. Not to retaliate, but to protect your own value. Stop being always available. Start saying no, let others feel your absence, so they understand your presence isn't a given. The more you know how to keep your distance, the more you create intrigue. The more you know how to refuse, the more others learn to value you. This isn't an emotional game, it's a lesson in loving yourself first. The reason why we overreact is a question few people pause to ask themselves. Why do we always feel responsible for responding to every criticism, every attack, or unnecessary argument? The answer lies in a concept Carl Jung called psychic energy. Every thought, every emotion, every reaction consumes a portion of our precious energy. In reality, we don't need to react immediately. When you react to things that don't matter, you are wasting energy on what's insignificant, instead of protecting and nurturing yourself. It's easy to get caught up in pointless arguments, dragged into relationships that drain us, or worse, become the fixer for everyone else's problems while neglecting ourselves. Jung emphasized that a healthy psyche is one that conserves energy within the system. This means learning to say no without guilt, learning to stay silent without feeling weak. Silence and non-reaction are true strength when you're not pulled into others' emotional games. We need to realize that what we spend our energy on determines our strength and self-control. If you always react to everything, you are letting go of energy that could help you renew and rebuild yourself. Remember, you don't need to engage in every battle, only choose what truly deserves your attention. The importance of protecting your psychic energy is a key concept Carl Jung highlighted in his work. The exhaustion, fatigue, and frustration we often feel aren't signs of weakness, but the result of spending too much energy on things that don't matter. These are the pointless arguments, automatic reactions to criticism, or relationships that no longer have life. When you get caught up in these, you are letting your energy be wasted on things that don't help you grow. Jung explained that when we react impulsively, we trap ourselves in a cycle of dependency and fatigue. Every time you respond to a provocation, every time you engage in a meaningless argument, you are losing a piece of your precious energy that could have been used for something more positive. One of Jung's principles is the art of conserving energy. A healthy mind is a selective mind. Not engaging in every unnecessary conflict is a vital skill, and it's also how you maintain inner peace. You need to learn to say no without guilt, to avoid pointless confrontations. Silence can be more powerful than any word or action, because it comes from intention and self-control. If you don't protect your psychic energy, you become vulnerable and a target for those who intend to exploit you. When you learn to control your reactions and conserve energy, you'll feel the true power in stillness and the choice not to engage in emotional games. The significance of recognizing and protecting your psychic energy is a core theme in Carl Jung's theories. He believed that each person must understand how to manage their psychic energy, as it directly impacts mental and emotional health. When you let your emotions react automatically, you are wasting energy on things that don't matter, like justifying, defending yourself, or engaging in pointless arguments. This only leaves you feeling drained and unable to maintain inner peace. Jung emphasized that exhaustion isn't a sign of weakness, it's the result of scattering energy on things that don't add value. When you can't conserve your energy, you become a target for those who intend to exploit you. These people may provoke you, making you react, then use those reactions to control you. They know your emotions can be manipulated, and they'll do whatever it takes to take advantage of that. Instead of letting yourself get pulled into such situations, Jung advised observing, staying silent, and not reacting immediately. This helps you not only conserve your energy but also take control of the game. When you learn to say no without guilt, you avoid pointless arguments or situations that drain you. Ultimately, Jung believed that conserving energy is a crucial part of becoming your true self. When you stop reacting impulsively, you can channel your energy into things that matter, helping you find peace and grow stronger.